Hello, it's Sunday. I told y'all that I was going to do my ribs and barbecue, and there's a recipe on there already, but I just love barbecue and I love ribs. So if you want to hang around, you can visit and watch, and we'll see what we can get into. Okay, well, here's our pork country style ribs. These were $1.89 a pound, so $6.89 for the country style ribs. And I just take them out and I'll wash them off with some baking soda water. And beautiful ribs. I go through and pick them so that they don't have a lot of, fat on them. And these are some nice pieces of meat here. Really, really are. So I'll be back in just a minute. Let me get these washed. Okay, I got those washed and put in there. Let me get one of the big black skillets. I'm going to just put some avocado oil in there to get the pan a little seasoned. I'm going to turn it on, probably about 4. And barbecue sauce in Texas or anywhere else is very personal. Each ranch had their own and each family did their own, and so I've been using the same one that everybody else used for a long time, but I'm going to braise these I'm going to sear these because you can use dark sugars, because see, when you put your rub on there and you sear them, that sugar melts and it creates kind of a shell around the meat, and it's ensuring that the meat stays moist and has a good flavor. So that I usually use that Mexican brown sugar, the Piloncilla, Pencilla, and I use a rub, but I didn't have any, so I'm just going to do the brown sugar today. And a few other ingredients. I use paprika because paprika is a natural meat tenderizer. I do not use that meat tenderizer you get in them bottles because there's too much sodium, too much junk in it. So we're going to do this. Let me get our herbs, and then we'll coat those and kind of brown those ribs before we put them in the Instapot. Yeah, I got to tell you. I looked for that Instapot for a month and didn't know where in the heck it was. Well, my little sweet 92-year-old mama started looking one afternoon. She said she came back in the kitchen after we had looked in the pantries and everywhere and couldn't find it. She come in and wagging it, just kind of nonchalant, and said, "I found your pan." I said, "Mama, where'd you find that pan? I have been looking for it." "Well, it was in the closet." I said, "In the closet?" And she had a metal strainer, kind of like this one, but it was a heavy one. And she said, "Yeah, these were in there. You remember when that tornado siren went off and you grabbed pots and stuff for us to stick on our head when we got in the closet? They were sitting in there on the table with the chairs where we sat." I said, "Mother, I had forgotten all about it, because that's our only storm shelter, so we had pans for our head." So I found the Instapot, so thank you, Mama. But let me get these spices and get this on the road. Well, I decided today I'm going to use, aren't these cute? My sister got me these last Christmas or the Christmas before in this copper little shelf. So I thought, you know, I need to use those. She was sweet enough to buy them for me, so I'm going to use them. Oh, well, I want a tablespoon of the Himalayan salt where I rub. Yeah, I could have had this measured out and all that, but I'd rather just sit here and do it with y'all. Like I tell y'all, if you don't want to watch, just fast forward. Okay, now I'm going to take my paprika that I told y'all. That's a natural meat tenderizer. I'm going to put a tablespoon of paprika in our mortar and pestle. Now you can, this recipe calls for cayenne, but I'm not going to put cayenne. I'm going to put my chipotle, and I'm only going to put a half a teaspoon. About one teaspoon. Because Mother cannot take that heat. Okay. So now we got our basil. Remove it. Oregano, I don't want that. Parsley's fine. Gives it a little, do about a teaspoon of parsley. Okay. Put that back in our little holder here. I love these little mason jar looking things. Rosemary, gotta have that. I'm gonna do about a teaspoon of rosemary. Put that up. Now on cinnamon, I'm just gonna try this. I've done it before. I just want to do a half teaspoon so I can know what flavor of cinnamon this is. I've never used it. Okay, I think that's basically got. Now y'all just have to do, I'll put the recipe up there and you can, it's the basic one that I usually use. And you can adjust it to whatever spices you have. Now I'm going to put some of this brown sugar. I'm going to put some of this brown sugar, about 1 cup, into this bowl. About 1 cup. And then, let me move my, grind these. Have to get them old salts ground up in there. Boy, you can smell those fresh herbs when you grind them. That looks pretty good. I want to get it. I think that's good, y'all. And we're just going to dump that in there with our cup of brown sugar. We'll put sugar with probably do it better than my hands. This humidity and stuff, that brown sugar just that being the way it is, I think I'll put just a, that's not the, that's the one I've already had open. I'm not going to open a new one. I'm going to put just about a teaspoon cornstarch just in that, just to kind of help that give a little. I had that, let's see, I've got my, get this old sifter here. That'll get some of those. That sugar, I should have checked that, but it was a lot of little balls in it. You don't want that. You don't want that on your stuff, so. I should have opened a new package, but I didn't even notice it. I got talking. Y'all know how I do. I get to talking and messy, Betty Jean. Messy. The ants are coming. Well, it's winter. I don't think they'll be in here, but you never know. Okay. Now then, I got that kind of done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this out here like this. These ribs. Lay those ribs out there. I'm going to take my little avocado oil and I'm going to just, you can brush them on or however you want to do it. Get your oil on your meat. Okay. Now then. Now, y'all don't like me to use plastic bags, but this is a new one and I'm using it. So, it's not being heated or nothing. It's just for my batter. And I get a handful of these when I go to, the country grocery store. That's a pretty good bit of meat, but it keeps me from getting, Billie Jean getting all that stuff all over it. So I just kind of get that on there like that. Kind of stick it down in your bag on each one. Massage your ribs now. You get in there and you massage. See how it's turning brown from that sugar? Browner. I'll just put it on in there. Massage that all. Make sure I had to turn it off because it started smoking and I was afraid y'all couldn't see me. Well, you can see me. I'm big enough you can see me. So that just kind of coat those ribs. just a little bit. Put a little more avocado on that skillet. See how brown those kind of got? They'll be good, y'all. I promise you that. Let me get my... I'm going to get this meat fork. Get this out of the way and this out of the way. See now, see how that looks there? You want to lay those down. If we're lucky, that's a pan full, isn't it? We'll turn that on up, get that to browning. You know, I've always thought that pork is one of the most difficult meats to get tender. But you have to cook the fire out of it, and it can be done. And the Instapot came along. Washing my hands, hold on. Then that Instapot came along, and I was just so pleasantly surprised. But when I first used that, I thought, my goodness, now maybe I can get tender ribs and meat and stuff. I don't want to really just cook that, but I'm going to look at it, see. Now that's already braising. So I'll pull this over this way so it fits the pan. Braise these. It don't take long in those iron skillets to get those braised. See how that fits that skillet, and I'll pull this one over and get it down there. Now, I'm not going to cook those in this, so I just wanted to get that kind of, with the brown sugar rub, I just wanted it. Now, let's look on our cheat sheet. We've got pork. Okay, we got pork roast, we got spare ribs, 2 to 4 pounds. We need 1 cup of liquid, 20 minutes. No. 1 cup of liquid. Well, if y'all don't have one of these, one cup of liquid, 20 minutes, high, natural release. Okay. Now those are, I'm just going to take those, turn them just for a second. Turn those. Now my cheat sheet didn't say I had to use the trivet, so we're not going to. See how brown that, or glazed that got? Now I'll scoot that back for just a minute so I can get this. Let me get a. I'm going to use my chicken broth that I had about probably a fourth a cup, but I put water in it so I put a cup of, you can use beef broth, whatever you want, but I'm going to use my chicken broth. Okay, now I'm going to turn this y'all off, and I'm gonna put this over here in the Insta pot for 20 minutes. I think I'm gonna put it for about 35 minutes because I want them done and soft. If y'all were here, I'd be having you help me. This looks like a witch's brew kitchen, but I need all this stuff out of here to make this famous barbecue sauce. Don't say it too loud. So I'm going to make it 3 times. The recipe will be for 1 time, but I'm making it for 3 times because it'll make about 4 cups. So I'm going to make about 12 cups or somewhere in there. But I like keeping it in the ice box because it's good on so much stuff. If you love a good tomato barbecue sauce, Texas sauce, this is it. Old. And you can just use it on so many things, but it sure is good on ribs. It's sure good on ribs. So I'm going to put, let me get my measuring cup and get started. I had to have me some little something to drink. I'm thirsty. I'm going to get me a little something. You just got to hold on. Ice goes everywhere. I'm going to get me a little of this lemon juice, and I'll put it in my glass just like that. And I'll put me a little sweetener or sugar or, let's see, I've got some honey. Where's my honey? Honey. Put me a little honey in that measuring cup there. And I'll put some hot water with it. Yeah, I get parched and then I need some little something to drink. So I'll dissolve that honey into that glass there. And y'all won't gripe at me all the time about using that sweetener. So I showed you, that's why I showed you I'm putting honey in my lemonade. Because I didn't want to be griped at no more. And I can put a little splash. Let me drink a hair of that down. I can put a little splash of tea in there. There we go. Cheers. That's good. Okay, what we're going to do, y'all, is we've got to this other one. I'm going to put, it would be 4.5 cups of ketchup. Since I'm doing I'm just going to put that in my, I should have, there's 3. I need to use this ketchup because I had bought it on sale probably February, and I need to use it. No better way than, and if I want to wash this ketchup bottle out, then I can put my sauce back into that. Okay, so there we go. Let me kind of just a little water. Turn that on. Let me turn my stove on. Wash my cup out. That's my left-handed measuring cup. And one day I'll buy a right-handed one. I've got several measuring cups, y'all. So, let's just do this as if y'all were making it 1.5 cups of ketchup, then 1/3 cup of your tomato paste, which would be 1 cup for me. I'm just going to go ahead and use that 12-ounce can. Get it going. Because I had bought that on sale too, so I need to use that. Mix your ketchup and your tomato paste. The crucial part is getting your spices and everything. Now on this Worcestershire, I'm going to put 3/4 a cup, which would be, for me, in my left hand deal. I know that I have that, where is my, let me find my measuring, I'll be right back. Okay, so to y'all, the 3/4 cup of Worcestershire, I'm going to put 1 cup in mine. Get that stirred around. I turned this down on low so that I can get this all put in here. Because you want to put it all in there and then cook it slow on low heat, at least 2 hours. So it's not a quick process. But boy, the awards are wonderful. Now you'd add 1.5 teaspoons of allspice. I don't have any allspice, so I'm just going to make it myself. So I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm putting my sugar. I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Put in my sugar. Then I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. Now that's what makes your allspice. Nutmeg, ground cloves, and cinnamon is what makes allspice. So you can use allspice 1.5 teaspoons. I just measure all my stuff out because if I buy allspice and then I need ground cloves, then I've got 2 bottles. So why not just make it from the start? Alright, I need a I'm going to have to put my mustard, and I've got my, let's set this off so I don't get it going. Let me put my tablespoon of ground mustard. Well, we're going to grind it. So in that I'll put, let's see, I'm going to put three tablespoons of mustard seed. Remember, if you have the faith of the Lord in that little bitty mustard seed, if you got that much faith, then you are doing good. So now then, I'm gonna, that was in with that garlic, and the garlic powder was 1.5 teaspoons. Now the mustard will be 1 tablespoon. Well, that smells good, y'all. I'm at the backtrack just a second. I thought of something. I was measuring for y'all. And I need to remeasure because I got we need that 1.5 teaspoon of allspice, so I only did enough for 1.5 teaspoon. So I've got to do 2 more for my big old pot of the nutmeg, of the cloves, and then the cinnamon. I owe my bowl 2 more teaspoons. Now I get it measured out properly. So we've got that. We've got our mustard, got our allspice. If y'all were here, I'd let you help me measure these spices out. I don't see as good as I used to. Cataract surgery was okay, I guess. Last night I said on the live I couldn't see because I think my eyes is because the new diagnoses of the macular degeneration has a lot to do with that. Okay, we got allspice, mustard. I'm not going to use cayenne, so I'm going to use get my 1.5 teaspoon of cayenne, but I'm going to put 1 teaspoon. We'll do 2 teaspoons. Y'all can do it by you do it by the recipe. And y'all can put your cayenne in if you want it. If you want it hot. If you want it hot. If you don't want it hot, that's okay too. So we've got our 3/4 cup of brown sugar. We've got our allspice, mustard, cayenne pepper, our lemon juice. We need 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup. So we're gonna put that in our wet bowl. Wet pan, 1/4 cup. But me, I need 3/4 cup since I'm doing such a big pot. Okay, got the lemon done. Let me just throw that lemon into those tomatoes while I'm standing here. We got a 3/4 of ground sugar here, which mine is a cup. And then I'm going to put 1/4 cup of white, mine is cane sugar. I'm going to do 1/4 cup of my cane sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and put that would be your fourth a cup. But when I put it in here, I've got to have it 3 times, remember. So, okay, there's our sugar mixture. I'll get a glass lid put back on this thing so we don't get too much moisture in that little ball jar. And, oh, this wears me out, y'all. Now, I already got my salt in there. Now, I'm going to do, on my black pepper, I'm going to do a teaspoon, because I don't want it too hot, remember. It says a teaspoon and a half for your recipe, and that's what we're going to just, I'm not doing a whole three teaspoons and all that for that. I'm just not going to do it. Because I don't want Mother not liking it. Okay. Now, let me crush this again, just to make sure. Okay, that looks good. Let me get 2 cups of water. Rinse my cup out. 2 cups of water out of my dispenser. I use this out of the dispenser for cooking because I don't want chlorine and stuff in my food. Okay, now we can pull our pot back over here. We've got it on low. Let's turn it back on up. We'll put our 2 cups. I had a little more than 2 cups. Okay, we got our 2 cups. And then we're going to add this will be our sugars and spices and everything nicest into that. Then we'll add our spices. Get that done. I had thought about adding maple syrup instead of any of the sugar, but you know, if you can't have sugar and you want to make a good barbecue sauce, I just feel like that you're going to have to find a recipe that's basically a chef has made just for no sugar barbecue sauce, because everything has to work together, and just by eliminating and putting the brown sugar and the white sugar, it would make this too liquidy, and it wouldn't cook down proper. So I thought, no, I'll just eat less of it on my meat and get the flavor instead of trying to ruin it with adding honey and maple syrup or whatever. Now the maple syrup, I've made barbecue sauce with maple syrup and it was really good. But today I said, no, I'm just going to do the old original. And I got this big old bottle of balsamic vinegar that's never been opened. And I was going to use it in the barbecue sauce, and I thought, no, I'm not going to open that old bottle of balsamic vinegar just for today. Maybe if I get my new kitchen, then I can set that out. I thought it's a beautiful bottle. Okay, Billie Jean, messy, messy. Now, y'all see that, now that we've got all our stuff in it, see that? We'll let that cook down for about 2 hours. So you just have to combine all those ingredients in a saucepan. You just cook it slow, like on low heat, for about 2 hours. Then you let it cool and serve it room temperature. And you can refrigerate that little bit of about a week. So I'm just going to turn that down to real low and just let that sit there and cook and cook and cook. Now that's still got some of tomato sauce in that. So just hold on. No, I don't like wasting nothing. And that sauce is going to cook down, so that water, that extra tomato sauce is not going to hurt that whatsoever. And it keeps me from having to not use it. Yeah, this is that good tomato barbecue sauce. I'm just sharing it with y'all. I've had a lot of people ask for it, but I'm not telling it. Now, we got our spare ribs, pork ribs in the Instapot. And they've got 2 minutes, but then we have to let them cool off, natural release, which means you don't do nothing but just turn that off when it beeps. You can't just leave an Instapot on. You have to come, and that's one thing I didn't like about the Instapot. When the food setting is over, it stays on. So you have to go cut it off and then let it naturally release. I wish they'd have made it where it cuts off just like an oven or something automatically, because none of the Instapots do though. You have to cut that off. Okay, we've got this done and the ribs, and I'll be back to see y'all just as soon as this gets done cooking and everything else. Okay, I got the mess kind of cleaned up. One thing I forgot, y'all. Remember the cranberries that I put up in the freezer? 1 bag of those, which would be about a cup of cranberry sauce, goes into this pot. I about forgot it. So you put I guess if you were using cranberry sauce in a can, either kind, you'd put about, I'd say a half a can. And that just gives it kind of a fruity, a little bit of bitter, and you need that for your barbecue. That's what makes it, and I almost forgot it because I had left it in the freezer bowl. Now I got the ribs turned off, and I'm gonna let this just cook on low. And like I said a while ago, I'll be back when I get it all ready to talk to you. Well, I got the sauce cooked down here. It's been 2 hours and it's gotten thick. Let me take the Instapot. Now here's our ribs out of the Instapot. Let's check and see. Oh boy, y'all. Those are just falling off the bone. Hey, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. Let me get our screen door strainer. That's not too hot to hold now that I've lit it. That's some good broth there. Some good pork juice. I was just trying to get this so I can get y'all a plate fixed. And Mother a plate fixed. So we can eat. I made some coleslaw earlier that's just enough for her, with some sesame seed and a vinaigrette dressing. That'll go good with this. And let me just get a plate. And I'm not going to put that on a big old platter, you know, because there's no sense in doing that. My back is just about out today, y'all. I've been going and doing, you know. So, that's the way it is. I think that'll be enough food. Let me pull that over. I'll just put it on this Blue Danube plate. Make her a little plate. I don't think I'll probably need a lot. Now them ribs, see, they're just falling apart. Only time I do is just kind of go through and make sure there's no bones in them. Now that's some good, let's get a little bite. Y'all want a little bite? Oh, it's good. Yes, it's good. Then I'll put a clove on here. And let me get a label. I'm going to put some of this barbecue just right down the middle of it. Just a good barbecue sauce. And that's what she'll really like this. I'll get her a little tray. And if she wants potatoes or anything, I've got creamed potatoes in there. But I wanted y'all to see how this barbecue sauce, how good it is. Oops, I'm dripping it. But it's a good deal. So God bless you. God bless us. God bless the United States. I wish y'all were here to have some of this with us, because this is what Mama's going to enjoy. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.